So I think the types of permanent events that we would like to avoid would be the type of thing like permanent business shutdowns on businesses that would otherwise have been successful absent this pandemic coming along. So if you were an otherwise successful business who was operating just fine, that does not mean that you would necessarily be able to survive a period of 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, with no revenue at all. And so if you shut down and you're kind of not able to restart when this recession ends, then we have one less successful business there that's able to continue operating when we come out of this recession. Now, that doesn't mean that that business then, couldn't be replaced by some other similar business when the economy recovers, but that process will be slower. It's not going to be exactly the same. There can be lots of, match-specific customer-firm interactions, firm-worker interactions. When those links are destroyed, you're not going to get those things back. Other longer run kind of persistent consequences that we might want to avoid could be various things on the household side. So when large fractions of the workforce are sitting idle or unemployed and not earning income anymore, it's going to be harder for those households to make their mortgage payments. It's going to be harder for those households to pay rent. If we don't implement some sort of policies to try to limit the negative consequences of that, then it wouldn't be surprising if months from now we start seeing waves of foreclosures and evictions. We know from the rise in defaults and foreclosures during the Great Recession that had large kind of persistent consequences on the overall economy, and we kind of ideally do not want to layer an additional Great Recession kind of effect on top of the already large economic disruptions that we're having. So I think those are the types of persistent, permanent effects that policy should be trying to avoid to the extent possible. And it seems feasible to do that in a world where this goes on for 1 month or 2 months or 3 months. The longer this health shock lasts, the harder it's going to be able to, the less transitory the actual shock is, and the harder it is going to be to limit the permanent effects of this, which again, I think is why the most important priority should be direct spending on the health threat itself to try to reduce the actual length of the recession or the underlying shock that caused things. I think that's a piece that has not been receiving enough priority in the stimulus policies that we've been enacting.